Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I'm here. Sorry I'm late. Christian was doing the absolute most, trying to do YouTube with a toddler. It's just a hot mess. Let me turn this so y'all don't see the mess on the other side of the room. I'm cleaning after this, y'all. I got to clean the whole house, do laundry, get myself together because the rest of the week is going to be busy. Tomorrow, I will be taping a YouTube collab, which you will see that video uploaded because we were going to do a live, but I got so much other stuff to take care of that wasn't really like expected. So you'll see that uploaded probably the next week. I think we're still going to upload the same day. But today I wanted to talk about when life doesn't turn out as you expected. Like this is not what I had in mind, God. I had other things in mind. So let me go ahead and do my social media stuff and then I will get started. And as you come in, please remember to like the video, share it out, y'all. I am actually, let me type this real quick because y'all, it's hard to talk and type at the same time. All right, I think that went. So yeah. Hey sis, hey Francis. I am trying to get my whole life together right now. I'm just doing my social media stuff. And yeah, I'm just excited to share. Like, I've really just been going with the flow. That's another reason why I have not been. Hey sis, hey Kendall. I'm at my son's high school introduction orientation. I'm going to have to catch the replay. That's fine. That's fine. I'm glad you stopped in. But I have just been kind of going with the flow because I have not taped any videos or anything like that. And so I'm like, I'm just going to share what I feel like I need to share when the day comes. So I don't know. I'm going to tape a video at some point and upload it. But right now, y'all just going to keep getting these live streams. But also, we are really close to 1K. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw, what was it? A couple days ago, I put that we hit 4K watch hours on here. So now I just need to hit 1K subscribers and I will be good to go. Like I will be straight, I will be monetized, and then I will be able to really like hone in, because it would actually be providing me an income to be on here and produce videos. Like I do love doing this, but I can't give as much as I'd love to give because it's not producing an income for me. So, if any of my videos encourage you, if you love my content, even if it's a particular video that you keep going back to, you can share that particular video to a friend, a family member on your social media platforms. You can invite people to these live streams because like I said, I'm going to be doing them at least through August. I don't see myself taping a video for this month. Maybe September I'll get back into it. Once I get settled down. But, for August, you can invite them to live streams. You can just share my general channel. There's so many different things you can do. But basically, Tuesdays, for a fact, you're going to catch me on Tuesdays. Thursdays have been hit or miss only because I've been traveling or on vacation. So Thursdays can be kind of busy. But you will usually catch me on a Tuesday and Thursday. Once I get back to my normal uploading and stuff, like I usually upload Tuesdays if you're new here. And I usually go live on Thursdays. So that's what we are going to be doing. Hold on real quick. Just putting this because I have two Instagrams. All right. So sorry, y'all. Got to get all the administrative stuff done. All right, let's pull this up. So anywho, that's that. I think those are all the announcements. So mostly going to be going live throughout August until September when I get like a good footing and get things back under control for uploading actual videos. And then we are, I think I'm at 832 subscribers. It's going back and forth between 830 and 832. So I need at least, let's say 170. I need at least 170 new subscribers to join the channel. So like I said, if my content encourages you in any way, shape, or form, then it would really be great if you could just share out my channel, share out a particular video that really resonated with you, invite people to these live streams to join you, or watch the replay and invite people to watch it with you. So we're going to go ahead and dive in. I wanted to talk about this topic if you follow my business page, which is at Rondell Martin on Instagram, then yesterday I went live and I talked about delayed doesn't mean denied. And so you can go and watch that IGTV video because it was a live that I saved as an IGTV. And I decided to do that because I was talking to so many people recently, and a lot of people are just in a state where they're just like, this is not what I had in mind, like hence today's title. This is not what I had in mind. I thought my life would look different right now, whether that's through relationships, like romantic relationships, friendships, your career, your business, personal matters, your health and fitness journey, whatever the case may be. A lot of us just did not think that life would look like this. I don't know about you guys, but this year has been filled with crazy and unexpected events for me. It honestly feels like 2 different years. I think I said that on the live yesterday on Instagram. It feels like 2 different years. Every month is something different. Like literally, I'm just kind of in this weird space, in different space. I'm just kind of going day by day. I'm not at my highest, as far as like, oh yeah, I'm creating and I'm on fire and things can be better. Like, but I'm also not at my worst. It's not like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. I'm losing all my hope and this and that, the third. My thoughts agree. I'm weak. And I had so many like lofty goals because you know how it is when the end of the year comes and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to do this next year. I'm going to do that next year. And you're just like really excited. And then it's just different. We're all trying to adjust to this new normal, whatever that is at this point. I don't even know what normal is anymore with schooling. And, I know some states are giving the option for distance learning to continue and kids are going back to school. I mean, it's like, it's so much. And then I'm also entering a new stage of parenting where Christian is at school, entering school age now. Like he still can't start kindergarten, but I'm really looking into getting him into like a homeschool co-op and stuff because I am not going to be teaching him. I just don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the patience. I don't have the sanity to do so I'm trying to get him into a homeschool co-op group, or maybe like start with a homeschooler coming to the house and then go into that something, but that's a whole nother ball game. So I'm like transitioning out of like I just have a kid at the house, a baby, to now he actually is a human that needs to be educated, that needs like, a new level of stuff. So I'm really starting, not that I didn't feel like a mom before, but it's like, it's getting real now. Like now I'm looking at like school curriculum and this and that and the third, and it's just a lot. And I'm feeling like, okay, maybe there's areas where I could be better. Maybe I'm dropping the ball. I feel like I'm dropping the ball in a lot of areas in my life where I'm just kind of like, there's so much to do, not enough time. And so I'm in this indifferent space. And I was like, okay, maybe it's not just me. And it hasn't just been me. Like I said, I've been talking to people and they've been saying the same thing. And to be honest, too, not only am I feeling indifferent, I feel like I should have been further along. Like when I look at how old I am and, and I know people are like, oh, don't live your life based on society's timelines. Heck, I even say that, but it's like, sometimes you got to take your own advice. Like you got to just take your own medicine. And that's what I'm trying to grapple with myself right now. It's like, I definitely thought by now I would have had so many things accomplished, and not necessarily like, I would have been on the cover of Forbes or something like that, but just, my life would have looked different. And so it's like, this is not what I had in mind at all. And so I wanted to just share with you guys some tips. I have 5 tips, and then I'll be out of your hair because I do have to adult and clean the house today by myself, okay, because my cleaning partner is not here. Rochelle, my sister, is babysitter. So when there's stuff to be done, it's like, watch Christian so I can get this done. But my mom and I usually clean, and she's not here. So I'm like, I got to do everything. And that's another reason, too, why this month I just feel like I'm just kind of skating by, because it's like, I don't know, it's just a lot. You never realize how much somebody helps out until they're not there. Like how much, it's like they say, you don't know what you have till it's gone. Like that's one of those things. So I'm just like, when are you coming back? Like I can use the help because this is a lot. I am fuming right now. I am literally hanging on by a thread, by a wing and a prayer. So the first point that I have for you as to like, when life doesn't turn out as expected, is to accept that this is your reality. Like you have to accept that it is what it is. Hey Shay, prayed for you today, Delle. You got this. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You just gotta accept like this is reality. This is your new reality. This is your new normal. Burying your head in the sand doesn't really help. So we can sit here and be like, oh, well, it's not happening, or it's not what I thought it was, or, just like a false reality, but that's not going to help anything. And if anything, it's going to make you more anxious and more stressed when you finally do snap into reality. So, we can't really detach ourselves. Like, take a minute if you need to. Take a minute to like wrap your mind around it, come to grips with it, take a breather, maybe detach yourself from outside distractions. So I know for me, a social media break is definitely going to be coming, mostly on the Daily Delle page, because I'm barely on it as it is anyway. I have already turned off notifications. I'm like, I don't really need to be on it right now. Like, I basically just use it to funnel people to YouTube, and my loyal followers, my loyal subscribers, they're on here anyway. So they don't really need like the Instagram reminder to be on my YouTube. So, and you guys pretty much know the gist. So that helps me. October is a month I usually like to fast. Just because it's a change. Like, the seasons are really setting in. The holiday season's coming in. It's the last quarter of the year. So I know in October I'm gonna do a hardcore fast. I don't know what all is gonna entail, but I know it's definitely coming. But detaching yourself from outside distractions definitely helps. But you can't detach yourself from your reality, because that's not gonna help you. It's gonna stress you out. So you just gotta accept it. Accept this is your new reality. So for me, it's like accepting that a lot of the goals that I had set out to do are just not going to come to pass this year. And I know some people would hear that and be like, oh, you should be hopeful, but it's like, it's just being realistic. Like, I'm not angry about it. I think I've just accepted the fact that, hey, it is what it is. I kind of set the bar a little too high. It wasn't realistic, because they say to set goals that scare you, but my goals were like really out there. Some things I could probably accomplish, but I'm really at a point where I'm like, God, like, just have your way. Like, I'm literally in a spot where I'm like, God, you direct the day. Like, I have a loose plan, but I'm really just going with the flow. That's why, like I said before, some of y'all came on here, I haven't even done a YouTube schedule, if you've noticed, since probably May, when I had batch recorded. I haven't put out a YouTube schedule. I'm literally just showing up like, yeah, I'm going live today at this time, and I'm going to talk about it, because it's like, that's what I feel led to talk about in this moment. Yeah, even if you asked me last night, like up until 10 o'clock, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make it on live today, because I was like, I don't know what I'm even talk about. Like, I don't feel moved to say anything. But this morning it hit me. Yes, I told myself I was going to start taking breaks in social media, even if it's nightly. Exactly. Like, turning off those notifications helped me a ton. I'm going to definitely try to implement a schedule of sorts where it's like, okay, at this time, that's it. Like, I'm off of social media. I'm going to just focus on my family, focus on whatever I got to do in the house, or just relax and like take a rest. That Sabbath is so needed, and the Sabbath can be every day. You can have a moment of Sabbath. Like, you can just relax and just take a load off and not be like, go, because that's not going to help either. And you do need time to just like disconnect, because we're always connected. We're always plugged in. We're always like just being bombarded with information and this and that, the third. And even in the business world, I've had to like just step away from certain accounts that I follow, not like unfollow them or anything, but just mute them, because it's like constant, just content in my face. Like, I can't, and it's just like, I can't even get my own thoughts together because there's so much content. So I'm just like, that's where I'm at. I'm like, God, you direct the day. I'm literally just here. Tell me what you want to do, type of thing. I'm just not moved to any one direction. Like, I know what I have to do. It's not like I don't have plans or goals for my business in particular, but it's not like set in stone to the point where I'm like, it has to go this way, otherwise I'm gonna be pissed, if that makes sense. It's like, I'm okay if the plan doesn't turn out how I thought it would, or if I got to completely switch direction. If God's like, nope, we're not doing that, then I'm okay. And I'm not usually in this space, in this level, to this, depth. I'm usually cool with going with the flow, but I'm a planner. I'm a very structured person. So to be in this space is new for me, to just be like, oh yeah, I'm just going to completely just lean on God willingly. Like, it's not even on some, like, I'm in a crisis. I'm willingly just like, whatever, just carefree in a way, carefree in God's hands. Like, it's kind of liberating, I'm not going to lie. It's kind of liberating, because we don't really get to do that a lot in this day and age. It's like, we're always having to do a million and one things. So when you could really just be like, it's whatever God tells me to do, I'm gonna do. Whatever he tells me to say, I'm gonna say. Wherever he tells me to go, I'm gonna go. And if that means I'm just gonna lay in the bed all day today, then so be it. And I'm not gonna feel guilty about it. Like, it is what it is. And another thing that's helped me too is, I'm not gonna lie, dating has helped me to not be such a workhorse. And I'm gonna get to that in a second. I think that's one of my points. Is it? I don't know. But either way, I'm gonna go ahead and say it now, because I don't know. I don't know if it's in one of my points for later, but it's really helped me, because it's like, you have to make time to not be working. Like, if you want to get to know somebody, you got to make time to talk to them. You got to make time to, like, shut off the laptop, go out, do stuff, have a conversation, just take a load off. So that's helped me a lot. Even though it can definitely be very ghetto out here, it's very helpful in the sense of just helping me to see, like, okay, I can have a tendency to bury myself in my tasks. Like, I love accomplishing stuff. I love marking stuff off the to-do list. And because my to-do list this year is not going how I thought, because of so many different things, it's kind of just stopped my world in a way where it's like, okay, this is not how I thought this year was going to look. So let me stop, let me recalibrate, let me reconsider, and let me just erase everything. Like, everything I thought I was going to do, I'm just going to erase it, except for, like, the stuff that I know for a fact, okay, I'm good here, which is only leaving me with, like, one or two things, honestly, maybe three, where I'm like, okay, I know I'm solid over here. Everything else is like, just out the window, and I'm just going with it. So I'm accepting that that's my new reality. And I'm okay with it. You know, it is a little weird. And I'm not going to lie, like, the enemy gets in your head in spaces like this too, because when you go online again, it's very easy to start comparing and start being like, dang, like, this person's over here crushing it. This person's over here getting this done. This person's over here having this breakthrough, having this, you know, revelation, having this, that, and the third happen. And then you start to feel like you're behind. And then you can find yourself doing stuff that is just not really what you need to be doing in this season. Like, this might just be your season of rest, or your season of, like, you know, scaling back and, like, growing internally and spiritually and stuff like that, and to not be, like, going out and getting after it, if that makes sense. But you can find yourself doing what you think you ought to be doing because you're comparing yourself and trying to keep up with the Joneses. So I'm like, yeah, that's just not, it's not a good place to be in at all. And it's really, really hard. Yeah. Oh my gosh, sis, you are speaking. Sometimes we just have to learn to say no. That is a word right there. And I was reminded of that recently with a couple of things I had committed to. And I was just like, I was regretting it after the fact. Because in the moment, I was like, oh, yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be exciting. I'd love to help. I'd love to do this or that. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord, why? Why did I say it? And I'm trying to do better with that, because I get really excited in the moment and I overcommit. And then I'm just like, oh my gosh, I just want to disappear under a rock when it's all said and done. And sometimes I cancel, you know, sometimes I'll go back to that person and say, like, you know what, I overcommitted. I'm going to have to say no. But, you know, other times I'm like, well, my word is my bond. I said I was going to do it. I'll just suck it up and do it. But I really got to, like, check myself with that. And I'm getting better, but I still got a long way to go. So you're preaching with that one. That I needed that reminder, because just this morning I was like, oh my gosh, I got stuff to do over the next few weeks that I committed to. Why did I commit to it? I should have said no. I definitely said this morning that after September, I think I have some scheduled stuff to do up until September. After that, for the rest of the year, I think I'm going to, unless it's like a collab on here with my main, you know, girls like you, Yasmin, whatever, I'm just going to say no, because I know Yasmin likes to do, like, holiday collabs and stuff. So if she asks me, I don't mind doing stuff like that. But anything else, like any major projects and stuff like that, like what I've agreed to do that I'm regretting now, I'm just going to say no until 2022, because I just don't have it in me. Like, I'm not even going to try to sit here and cap and be like, oh yeah, like, I'm going to do it. And I'm miserable. I'm stressed, you know, all of that. Like, I don't know. I'm definitely changing as I get older. It's like, you know, this isn't exactly the same thing, but it's like, you know, when people say they were an extrovert when they were younger and then they get older and they become like an introvert, I feel like that's becoming me. When I was younger, I was in everything. I was like they say in the Caribbean, you're like pot salt, you know, because salt is in every dish. So it's just like, I was like pot salt when I was younger. But now I'm like, ooh, yeah, I think I'm gonna head in. Like, I think I'm gonna stay in the house. I'm changing. It's a part of life. So the second point I have is to try to look at the bright side. So even though things might not be, where you thought they'd be, or look how you thought they'd look, or, whatever, you can still acknowledge the good in that situation, because it's never all bad. Like, even the worst situation has some good in it, but to see the good in it takes a conscious effort, because we're naturally inclined to want to focus on the bad, focus on the negative, even if it's not as negative or as bad as we think, we're inclined to want to focus on that, because that's just what we do. Like, it's like us YouTubers. You might get 100 likes on a video, and you get 3 dislikes, and those 3 dislikes send you in a tizzy, and you're just like, why don't they like my video? And it's like, it's 3 people. The bright side does help, Shay. It's like, it's 3 people. Okay, like 100 people loved it, but you're upset because of the 3 people that didn't like it, but that's human nature. We want to like magnify the negative. We want to hone in on what's bad, or what disappointed us, or whatever. And while we should acknowledge those things, which is, I think, one of my other points, you do want to look at the bright side. So, okay, you thought you'd be married by now. You're not married, but what's the bright side of that? You're still, singleness has a lot of perks. You're able to really commit yourself to your passions, commit yourself to serving, commit yourself to, the growth that you need to do, or different goals that you might have. You thought that you'd be in a different career by now, but what is the bright side of the career that you're in right now? Like, even though you might go to work and absolutely just be miserable every single day, what's the bright side? Especially in this day and age, you have a paycheck, you have an income, like you have something you can count on. You thought that you might have lost some weight by now. Speaking to myself right now, I'm preaching to the choir. But what's the bright side? Like, yes, you're not where you thought you'd be, but you're not where you were. I'm not where I used to be in my weight. I don't have washboard abs. I don't have a model body. I would probably never have that, but I'm not where I used to be. I'm loving my body as it is right now. I'm learning to love myself with my flaws, and not feel like I have to be perfect or have to fit a mold in order to be happy. Because if you don't even have happiness now, enjoy now, then you can get to that goal weight and still think that you're, not beautiful, or think that you look a mess, or whatever the case may be. Yes, let me tell you, I love marriage, but y'all have an advantage that us married folks don't have. And I'm really realizing that, like, I would love to be married right now. Like, I'm definitely ready for that stage, but I'm learning not to rush it. And I'm learning not to like discount my singleness, because I know when that time comes, it's for life, forever. I'm just like, that's a lot. Like, I am so grateful that I have like you and Yasmin and so many wives around me that I can just like glean off of. And you guys handle it with so much grace. But it definitely is a reality check. It's like, are you ready to serve? Are you ready to extend this level of grace and compromise and all sorts of stuff? It's a lot. So, it's so many things that we can look at in our lives. Maybe you're married and you've been trying to have a child, and you're just like, okay, I'm ready for motherhood, parenthood. How was that happening? But there's an upside to that. I love my son to death. Like, I would literally take a bullet for him. But there's a lot of things that people that don't have children can do that people that have kids can't do. Like, get up and go when you please. Like, no matter what I do, I always have to consider Christian. Even now, like I said, with me dating, like, I can't just get up and go. So if a guy that I'm talking to is like, oh, there's something going on tonight, want to go? I can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna go. Like, I have to look at my calendar. I gotta ask my family. Thank goodness I have my sister and mom here, so I don't always have to pay a sitter. Well, I don't have to pay a sitter at all, but I still gotta run it by them. I can't just be like, oh, I'm out of here. Like, I gotta let them know, hey, I'm trying to go here. This is the time, this is the location. I might do a little Uber Eats after. Like, it's so much to consider. And the days that you want to sleep in, it's like, I gotta get up and tend to Christian. Like, today, I really was tired as a mug, and it's raining cats and dogs here. It's kind of calming down now, but it's just like, I wanted to sleep in, and Christian was like, sleep in. Like, I'm hungry. Wake up. I need to eat, So it's so many things that we could look at and just be like, this isn't it. Hey, Anika, I haven't seen you in a while. Please, I'm 30 years and I'm single. I want so bad to be married and have children. I'm always crying and depressed. I don't understand God. Please, I need prayer. I would definitely pray for you. I'm going to pray at the end of this live, actually, and I'll keep you uplifted in prayer as well. But trust me, I understand. Like, I'm 32. And I really desire marriage too. And it ebbs and flows. Some seasons I'm like, God, send my husband now. And other seasons I'm like, you can hold off, like I'm good, But I understand that desire. And I understand the desire to have children. Is so crazy because right before I got pregnant with my son, I really thought I would never have kids. Like I remember, I actually found my old journal from then somewhere in the garage, I think right now. But in the journal, I actually wrote one day that maybe I will never have children. I was like, maybe it's in God's will for me to be single and not have kids. And 3 months later, I got pregnant. And now I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, God, help your sister out, because this motherhood thing ain't for the faint of heart. I'm just like, I thought I was ready, and I love my son. Like I definitely stepped into that role, but there's a lot of things that I'm realizing about myself. Like I actually am a little selfish. I am like quite impatient, and there's a lot of things that you realize after the fact. So I know it's hard, but definitely try to see the bright side. Oh, my name is Anik. Sorry, I called you Anika. Hey, Anik. Or Anik. I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. It's hard to tell on YouTube. What is the advantage? If White Stuff is still here. Okay, she just answered. Perfect. Hey, Monet. Even when they get older, still have to make sure they're good. Okay, and thank you for joining the live. But that's so true. And I was saying earlier that I'm entering a new phase because, Christian's about to enter pre-K or whatever. And I'm just like, wow, like I'm really mothering out here. I'm looking at curriculums. I'm looking at schools. Like I just wasn't ready for this. And especially with the way the world looks right now, I didn't anticipate going through all of this. None of us anticipated going through all of this with the 19 and everything and just trying to find our own footing and get our minds right. Plus parenting and being a mother, like it's just a lot, but it's like, thank God for grace, because I would be in a corner rocking back and forth right now if it wasn't for God's grace in my community. Just the advantage that you don't have to answer to anyone, not in an abusive way, just in having to put your needs second. Exactly. Like that right there is the hardest thing. I think that would be the hardest thing for me to adjust to in marriage, having to like answer to someone and like actually hear their point of view and be like, consider their thoughts and their emotions. Because I think it was on the live with Kendall? I think it was the live with Kendall where I was like, I'm a very grounded person. Like I said what I said. Even last week, I think it was, one of my friends is starting a new business venture. And I was talking with her mentor and her mentor was like, asking me questions about this and what do you think about that and whatnot. And she was like, you're a very grounded person, because she was trying to like get me to see different perspectives. And if it was something I didn't agree with, I was like, I just don't agree with that. That's not appropriate for me at this time. Like I wasn't rude, but I'm very like, I said what I said, like I meant it, And so that I already know me and my husband going definitely have some trouble in that area. So pray for me now, saints, because I'm gonna need the preemptive prayers and the prayers while I'm in the situation too, because I am going to have to really work on that. Really, really work on it. Not that I want to lose myself, but I also don't want to be like super stubborn. But yeah, like there's always a bright side. So even if it's like I didn't see the like, prime example, when I moved to Atlanta, I didn't expect to move and then be homeless for 2 months. Like I said, I was expecting to walk into a breakthrough. But the bright side was that it got me out of my comfort zone. There's something about moving away from home that like forces another side of you to come out, whether that's ingenuity, whether that's extreme faith, like a deeper faith because you're in the unknown, whether it is more courage, like it forces different sides to come out. Like God really brings out another side of you. So it definitely brought out more courage in me, definitely more innovativeness, definitely more faith. I mean, that I would say in recent years, that was one of the times where I had crazy faith. Like I can't even put into words the amount of faith that I had. And moving here helped me with that, even though the situation was so janky, so janky. I can see the good in it looking back. And even now, it's because I moved and I wanted to share my story that I started YouTube. So if I didn't go through that, I don't know if I would have actually started YouTube. I probably would still be talking about it, or I would have started it and then quit. But because I wanted to share my story and encourage somebody and also just get it off my chest, it helped me to commit, because people started looking at my content. They're like, oh my gosh, like we need an update. We need to know what happened. So it just kept me showing up. So there's always a good. It's never all bad. Even if it's very, very bad, it's never all bad. And we know that as believers, all things work together for our good. Every single thing, the good, the bad, the ugly, the indifferent. So try to look at the bright side. But with that said, point number 3 is to allow yourself to grieve. I know it's like the total opposite of what I just said. Like, how am I going to look at the bright side and grieve at the same time? But you honestly can. You honestly can, because I don't want anybody to ever feel like they have to be fake and ignore their feelings and suppress their feelings, because we have feelings for a reason. Like, feelings are great indicators of what's wrong. They're great to help us like get on the right track and things like that. You just don't want to be a slave to your feelings. You don't want to like just make decisions based on your feelings all the time, and like just honestly just live off your feelings. Like, you don't want to do that, but you don't want to ignore them either, because that's not healthy. That doesn't help us to have like true transformation, true deliverance when you ignore your feelings. So don't ignore the fact that you are grieving it. So like Anik, when you said that you are depressed, like it's okay to admit that. It's okay to be real with yourself and say, you know what, I'm not okay being single, because I never want anybody to fake it. Like, I know sometimes we feel like we have to fake it, especially as believers, because we always want to show the joy of the Lord. And it's like, you can have joy, but still acknowledge the fact that I'm not okay in this season. Like, I don't, because joy is not something that's temporal. Like, happiness can come and go. You could be happy this hour and then another 2 hours be unhappy. But joy is like, even through the pain, even through the disappointment, even through all of that, you still have your joy underneath it all. Like, I still know God is going to come through, but I'm hurting right now. Like, I'm depressed. Like, I'm still confused as to why it hasn't come through yet, especially when you're trying to live the right way. You're trying to follow him. You're trying to have faith. You're trying to put your trust in him. You're trying to do all these things. It's one thing if you're out here just cutting the rug, living how you want to live, living a hot mess, doing whatever, not caring at all, then it's another thing. But it's one thing if you're like actually trying, like you're actually putting your best foot forward. Girl, I didn't even know. Oh, wait, you didn't know I was live, or you didn't know about something else? But hey, Yasmin, hey, sis. I'm glad to see you on here. If you didn't know about the live, I definitely was just like impromptu with it. So it's not your fault. I'm all over the place. Y'all just pray for me. But allow yourself to grieve, because I don't know about y'all, but I cannot stand what they call toxic positivity. Like, in May, for Mental Health Awareness Month, on my business Instagram, I did a series based on mental health and how I think it was like how entrepreneurship and mental health coincide. So like, what are some things, right? Didn't know you were live. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's okay. I'm all over the place. I announced it super last minute. And yeah, so thank you for joining in, though. I always appreciate you being here. But I talked about how entrepreneurship and mental health kind of coincide, and like how entrepreneurs might struggle with certain aspects of mental health. And so one of the first live I did, I believe, was about toxic positivity, and how a lot of us are just pretty much in this predicament where we feel forced to be positive. And I'm not gonna lie, y'all, I dated this guy. I can't even say I dated him. I talked to him because it didn't even get that far. But we were talking a couple months ago, and he was one of those types where I felt like I couldn't really just express my feelings to him. I felt like I always had to just be like, yeah, I'm happy. It's all good. This, that, the third, whoop, whoop, whoop. And it's just like, I don't want to always be, on here with the bells and the whistles and the, yeah, I'm great and everything couldn't be better and this, that, the third. Like, and if I'm dating you, especially, it's just like, what's the point? Like, if I can't be emotionally vulnerable with you, then what's the point? If I always have to be happy, or if I would try to vent and try to be like, this is where I'm at right now, like this really hurt me today or whatever, it's like he would shut it down. Like as soon as the glimpse of like anything that wasn't positive would come, or positive or happy would come up, he would be like, oh wait, nope, wait a minute, let's be positive. And I'm like, dang, like, bruh, can I get the sentence out before you cut me off? Like, it just irritates me, because it's like, it's not realistic. Life is going to come with things, and even for him, it's like he was going through a couple of losses in his life between family members and friends. And it's like, he wasn't even letting himself grieve, like, and he distanced himself because of it. And I understand some people, need space or whatever, but I'm one of those people where it's like, I don't expect you to always be in a good mood when you talk to me. If you're in my life as a friend, a lover, family member, whatever, like, come to me through it all. Happiness, sadness, whatever, doesn't matter because I understand we have a range of emotions. So I was trying to be there for him, but it's like he was just like disappearing because it's like he just believed like you just have to always be positive. I'm like, that's very toxic and very stifling. I love your comments and fully agree. Perfect. And I agree too. She's coming with the heat today. Always coming with the heat. Oh, yeah, you were on that live, Monet. I forgot about that. Yes, God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, but I still have real emotions that I have to feel through. Exactly. And so it was very stifling, and we ended up just falling off for other reasons, but that was very stifling. And I'm just like, I think about things like that. It's like, what if I'm going through a loss and I come to you and I'm crying because, a family member of mine passed away, which lo and behold, two passed away like a month and a half after his relatives passed away. But it's like, I didn't even feel like I could go to him because it's just like, if I start crying, what you gonna do? Tell me to buck up? Like, keep your head up? Like, nah, we ain't doing that. So, never feel like you have to be positive. Like, allow yourself to feel. Can I just throw my fit and have a cookie? Yes, emphasis on the cookie, right? For real, like, just let me have a moment, Like, I just need to get it off my chest because it's therapeutic to talk. There's a reason why the Bible tells us to like confess, share your testimony, confess your sins to one another. Like there's various instances in the Bible where it's like talk. Like basically that's the bottom line. Talk, share, get it off your chest because bottling it up is not helpful, especially with all the stuff people go through in this life, all the things that you have to battle through. And then when you have other people depending on you, you're welcome, Monique, for the encouragement. We have other people depending on you. So bringing it back to being mothers, being wives, being maybe a caretaker for a parent, being a team leader on your job or whatever. Like we all are kind of being dependent on in some way, shape or form and look to for guidance and sometimes even leadership. So you need to have somebody or some people that you can trust and just be like, look, this is where I'm really at. Like really, for real, this is where your girl is at. And I'm so grateful for you guys in my YouTube community because we thankfully have that relationship with each other. Like God is so good, y'all. I'm not even going to try to start crying on this live because I'm tired and I don't want my eyes to be burning when I get to cleaning, but it's just like, I'm so grateful for you guys. Like we have really just become like sisters. And we can text each other, we can DM each other, we can just honestly share where we're at. And it's no judgment. It's no like, oh, get over it. It's just like, girl, like I see you, I feel you, I'm praying for you. Like I hear you, and that's so important. I'm so grateful for y'all. Plus the enemy wants us to keep silent so God can't work it out. Exactly. If you say it out loud, it's real. Exactly. Like things grow in silence, things grow in darkness. So when you have that emotion and you're just like, I'm really feeling sad. I'm really feeling disappointed. I'm feeling angry with God. Actually, that example is really good. I know a lot of people who went through stuff in life, started out feeling angry with God and disappointed with God. And then it turned to them leaving God, leaving the faith, walking away from the church because it was just like, I'm upset. How come nobody, noticed it? How come nobody said anything? And while I do think there's a place for people to be aware and to notice, especially people in your close circle, I think there's also a necessity for you to speak up, like you said. So it's like next thing you know, you have animosity with people that probably didn't even notice, like to be honest, because everyone's going through their own thing. And then now you're like, forget that, I'm walking away, and you leave the faith, you leave the church, so it's very real. The enemy really gets a foothold in our lives that way. And I'm glad you brought that up because it's so true. It's like loneliness, solitude, darkness, silence, that's a recipe for disaster. Find somebody, I don't care. And as you can see, like I just said, most of these women, I don't think I've met anybody on here except for Monet. Like Monet's the only person I've met in person. Everybody else, and that just happened like last week or 2 weeks ago. Everybody else, I just know them from YouTube and Instagram. And it's like, thank God for the internet in that way. Like while it can have its toxicity and stuff, it definitely has good parts to it where you can meet people from all over the world that are also going to walk this life with you in this journey and really just be like sisters, and family, and really just be there for you. So find somebody, there's a lot of Facebook groups that help with that. Hold on. Yes, Christian. Okay. You got to ask Auntie. I'm on live. Y'all, he's about to make a debut, a guest appearance, because at this point, I swear the last 4 lives, you probably heard me stop and be like, yes, Christian. I'm gonna have to bring him on the channel one day, and just let him talk and get stuff off his chest. But y'all gonna hear a lot about colors and whatnot, and cereal and Ryan's World and Lord knows what else. But there's Facebook groups where you can just submit prayer requests. I used to be a part of one. I forgot the name of it, but if I find it, I might put in my Instagram stories. There's a Facebook group I'm a part of where it's like women coming together and sharing where they're at in their life, and they pray for you. There's Christian singles Facebook group. So even though you might not find your bae in there, I have definitely made great friendships in there that I still keep to this day. Monet, he is cutting up. Come get him. Come get him. And he asked about you too. He was like, "Where's my teacher?" But it's just a lot. It's a lot. So, but there are resources, like I said, and Facebook's really good for that. But you can also connect with people through YouTube, Instagram. But if you're looking for like something already set in stone, like a group or whatever, then then you can look on Facebook. I love cereal too. What's your favorite cereal though? Like this is where we know if we real sisters in Christ or not. What's your favorite cereal? You'll eat them out. Listen, I literally buy like maybe 7 boxes of cereal a month because he just goes through it. I usually buy Kix and Cheerios. Sometimes if I'm feeling, fancy, I'll buy the apple cinnamon Cheerios, but he loves Kix, he loves Cheerios, and he will eat it all day if you let him. Christian, what? I told you I'm on live. Okay, just wait. Give me a few minutes. Y'all, send help. This is what I'm going through. Send help. Okay, so allow yourself to grieve. I'm going to recap the first 3 points, then we're going to go to point number 4. So the first point was accept that this is your reality. It doesn't look like how you hoped, but it's your reality, and it's okay. Like there's still hope. It's just we got to accept it. Try to look at the bright side is point number 2. So even though it might look downright terrible, there's always something that you can look at where it's like, this is the bright side, this is the positive side. And point number 3 was allow yourself to grieve. Captain Crunch is your favorite. Yes, come on. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Okay, we here. Those are 2 of my favorites. You're definitely my soul sister. Definitely. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love it. I love it. I just haven't bought it because Christian loves it too, and he will eat it out. And I'm like, okay, that's a lot of sugar for you, and I can't hide it from him because we only have so many cabinets in the house. But trust and believe, the day that I find a hiding spot, I'm buying my Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So I'm hiding it and I'm eating it for me because he will eat it out. But that was point number 3. So point number 4 is embrace where you are now. So it's easy for us to always look at the next place. Like once I get married, I'll be happy. Once I have that child, I'll be happy. Once I get that business started, I'll be happy. Once this happens, once that happens, when this come to pass, then I'll be happy. But it's like, one, tomorrow's never promised. So why wait to really enjoy your life and really have your joy, like really just try to embrace where you are because you don't know if you're going to get there. Like, I know it's not the most positive thing to hear, and lo and behold, we were just talking about positivity, but it's like, you don't know if that will ever come to pass. So you might as well just embrace the moment, embrace right now, embrace the goodness that you have today, even though it's looking janky, even though this is not what you had in mind, even though you had hoped it would turn out differently. What's something, like, even if it's one thing that you can think about that you can embrace, what's one thing that you can embrace that you're like, you know what, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm at. It's cool. I'm blessed in this area. I'm content in this area. I'm grateful. I can look to this area and be reminded of God's goodness. And I can just like not let the situation that I'm seeing get the best of me because I can be reminded. Oh, I can't eat soggy cereal either. I'm very particular about when the milk is poured in my cereal. If someone pours milk in my cereal, I'm sorry, but we're going to fight because that is like so disrespectful to me. I can't do it. I can't do it. Don't pour milk in my cereal. I got to be sitting down with my spoon in hand, ready to eat. And the milk to cereal ratio has to be like a certain amount. I like a little bit less milk than cereal because the milk is just to moisten it a little bit. I really don't even need it for real with certain cereals, but it helps. But yeah, I don't pour milk in my cereal. I remember one time, major side note, then we'll get back on track. But my sister, we were on vacation and she went to breakfast because the hotel had complimentary breakfast. And so she brought my cereal to me. I told her, I was like, bring me some cereal with like a waffle, some fruit, whatever. She brought the cereal with the milk in it, y'all. And I was just like, why is the milk in my cereal? I was like losing it. I was like, I can't eat healthy cereal because the milk can't just sit on the flakes like that. Like it has to just lightly touch it and then I'm eating it, because she would, like, my sister would pour milk in her cereal and leave the bowl there and then eat it. And I'm just like, Why? Like she would why who does that? Who pours milk in the cereal, eats their sandwich or their waffle or whatever, and then comes back to the cereal? Like, why? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You have to drain the milk out of the spoon. Yes, exactly. Like I just want a little bit of milk, just a little bit. Yes. Don't pour my milk. Don't. Yes, exactly. Drain it before you take a bite. I'm going to jail. I'm telling you, like these are real life issues. It's just like I got into an argument about peanut butter and jelly sandwiches with someone one time. I was like, do you put the peanut butter first or the jelly first? They said they put the jelly first. I was like, how do you put the jelly first and then put the peanut butter? Like, make it make sense. It just it does not make sense. And they said they put it on both slices. For me, if I'm gonna put it on both slices, I put the peanut butter first and then the jelly, or I put the peanut butter on one slice and the jelly on the other. So I was like, make this make sense. How are you putting jelly first and then the peanut butter? Like peanut butter is gonna wipe up the jelly. But these are real life issues, okay? These are the real problems in life. How do you make your PB&J sandwiches? Forget joy, okay? Let's talk about PB&J. This is what we really need to get to the bottom of, and these will solve the world's problems. It's so funny though, but it's real. It's real. In Christian's world, pancakes will solve the world's problems. Pancakes will make everybody feel better. What? Who? Girl, I'm telling you, I was confused. I was like, you've been eating sandwiches like that your whole life and nobody corrected you? I was hurt. Hello, Delle. I'm a guy with autism in my early 20s who enjoyed your channel. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that you're here. I know I have a few male subscribers, but they never speak up. So thank you for speaking up. I'm so glad that you subscribed and you enjoy my content. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're a Delle doll. So welcome to the family and thank you for all your support. But okay, so that was point number 4. Embrace where you are. Nothing is wrong with aiming for the next goals in life, but don't neglect to celebrate today. Like you've made it through some things already. You are here today, overcoming, like becoming, overcoming, transitioning, leaning on God, fighting fires. You're doing it all. So it's like, take a minute to celebrate yourself. Don't always look to the next. I'm really bad with that. I'm going to definitely need to remind myself of that daily because I said on Kindle's Live, I'm my biggest cheerleader, but I'm my biggest critic. So I'm always kind of like, oh my gosh, you should be here by now. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. So I really need to like embrace my right now. Like I'm here. I've overcome a lot in the last just 2 years, you know, honestly, in the last year, all of us have overcome a lot in the last year. So it's the fact that we're even sitting here today should be enough to give thanks and be grateful. You are welcome. By the way, I like your leather coat you had on your ATL moving thumbnail. What brand is it? I think that was Forever 21. Yeah, I think that was no, you know what? It was New York and Company. It was a New York and Company leather coat. Thank you. It's the details for me. Yes. Thank you. I love that leather coat. That's one thing I love about fall. When it cools down, I can whip out my jackets and stuff. But yes, Christian. We don't have pancakes in the house. He heard me saying pancakes. Now he's like, I want pancakes. Overcoming, becoming as I become. Yes. All of that. All of it. Yes, indeed. I didn't capture the notes in the comments. Oh, it's okay, girl. It is okay. I know you usually be on it. Is it real leather? No, it's not. It's fake. It's fake leather, but it doesn't look fake, that's what I love about it. I want to be my biggest fan. Exactly. Like that's, I am, but it's like two sides of the same coin. As much as I can be my biggest fan, I can really beat myself up. And it's just like, if other people are beating me up, I'm gonna beat myself up even more, which is just not healthy at all. I know that's how the enemy gets me and I'm working on it. I'm not where I want to be yet, but I'm getting there. And that is all about embracing where you are. Like it comes full circle. So I'm embracing the woman I'm becoming. I'm embracing the entrepreneur I'm becoming. I'm embracing the mom I'm becoming. There's a lot of things I look at and I look at other moms and I'm like, man, she's so involved with her kids. She's so hands-on. She's so thorough. She's so this, she's so that. And I'm just dropping the ball, like left and right. I'm dropping the ball. I'm not doing what I know I could be doing or should be doing. It's just a lot. But then I also have to extend grace to myself because I'm like, I am doing this alone. Like my mom and sister help a lot, but at the end of the day, it's like, it still falls on me for actual parenting, you know? So I just got to have grace for myself. I'm translating to the car, so comments will be scarce. It's all good. I'm at overcoming as I become. Oh yeah, it's all good. I know how those talk to text things could be. Christian, I'm talking. Okay, give me a minute. Yo, this is real life for real, for real. You're seeing me go through it in real time. Right now, Kendall and my mom are my biggest fans. I got to master energy. Hey, I hear that. Kendall is awesome with that. She really is awesome with that. And you're going to get there, sis. You really are. Like, I definitely am inspired by you and all that you do. Like I tell you all the time, like you handle it all with grace. So I commend you because I would be a hot flaming mess if I was if I had to balance everything that you balance. I'm a hot mess right now and I'm not even balancing half of what you're balancing. So I commend you. Y'all see me going through it right now, live on camera, live on the interwebs. I'm in the flames as we speak. So Christian is not letting up. But point number 5 is to let go of the fairy tale and the expectations. Whether you put those expectations on yourself or other people put it on you, like let it go. Because I know when I was younger, I used to be like, oh, I can't wait to be this age because I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to be living in this house. I'm going to have this kind of husband. I'm going to have this kind of car, this kind of career, this and the third. My life is so far from what I used to dream. It's not even close. Not even a glimmer. Like it's just complete opposite. If you would, like, if I could go back in time and tell my 16, 17-year-old self, like, this is what your life looks like at 32, I would literally probably cuss my own self out. Like, the devil is a lie. That's not how my life is going to look. No, ma'am, that's not how it's going to look. But it's like, you just wake up to reality of like, this is my life. And, you know, the fairy tale I thought I was going to have is not it. You know, I was talking with one of my friends the one that I meet with every Friday, or we try to meet every Friday to pray. And I was telling her about, you know, my dating stuff right now and just everything in life, and particularly the two guys at the time that I was really honing in on. Now it's down to one. But I was like, you know, he's nice. There's this, there's that, but I'm concerned about this, that, blah, blah, blah. And she was just like, you know, relationships are not perfect. Like the fairy tale that Disney sold us is a lie. You know, the thing that you think is like, he's going to swoop in and everything's just going to be great. You're not going to have to work at anything, or you're not going to have to like compromise or grow together or whatever. She was like, that is all a lie. So go ahead and get that out of your head. And the things that you're concerned about are not even worth being concerned about, especially at this point in the game. She was like, it's still very fresh. So don't like stress yourself out because you feel like you have to have this fairy tale and it has to go how you have it in your head. And that was a major wake up call. I needed that blunt truth because I really can get caught up. Like I said, I'm a planner. So it's like, I want things to, as much as I can go with the flow, I prefer for them to go how I want them to go. So when I have to go with the flow, I can do it, but it's still a reality check. And it's still like, I'm going with the flow. This is not what I intended. Like I thought it was going to go a little differently. And so I can end up getting in my own way, especially with something like dating where you do have a little bit more control. I can end up being so controlling in certain instances to the point where I can literally control myself out of a blessing, y'all. It could be one of those things. So I just have to be realistic and say like, you know what? I might not get that Prince Charming. I might not get that Mr. Hot to Trot. But do I really need that? Like, do I really need what the world would say is the prime, you know, candidate? Do I really need what the world would say is the eligible bachelor type? Like, I don't really need that, but I do need certain things to be met. And as long as those things are being met, it's all good. It's the same thing with my business. Like, do I need to have a $10,000 program in order to be successful? Let the experts tell you, yeah, you should. And you should have one program and you should never launch anything else. And that should just be how you make your money. But it's like when I was doing that, it was stifling. It felt fake. It didn't feel like myself. So now that I'm doing what feels aligned to me, it feels a lot better. Am I at the point that I want to be at yet? No. But it's like I'm letting go of those expectations that the industry will put on me and say, you got to do this in order to be successful. You got to do that in order to be successful. It's like, nah, like that's, that's not it. You're doing exactly what God knew you would be doing. Exactly. And it's like, I have to remember that, like, exactly where I am is where God wanted me to be. He's not surprised. He's not like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is what your life looks like. You know, like he knows exactly everything that's going to happen. It is cool that you are a Christian. I'm a Christian too. Thank you. I love the fact that everybody on here are Christians. It makes it so much easier to talk about God. It's not like weird or, you know, just like awkward energy. So thank you. I appreciate that. And everybody on here are Christians too. And a lot of them are YouTubers. So make sure you check out their channels as well. You are the mom that God knew Christian needed. Sis, I needed to hear that, because when I tell you Hot Mess Express over here, that that is me to a T. But you know what? God knew. And a lot of times I'd be feeling like I'm not motherly enough, because it's like a lot of times me and Christian feel more like friends or like brother and sister than mom and son, just because of the way that my personality is, the way like how everything kind of happened in our living dynamics and stuff and our family dynamic. And, just, it's just kind of the way things are. Like, I'm not a really like, you know, what's the word I could say? I guess I'm not like a real like dictator helicoptery type mom, if that makes sense. Like a helicopter, but not really. Like, I'm really free flow, really free spirited. So it's definitely a little weird. And a lot of times I look at him, I'm like, you really are my child. Like, I really I really am a mom. This is new. This is different. It is all God. All God, because sis, you are doing it. You are crushing it. Kind of ashamed that most of my friends lack religion. I'm sorry to hear that. Like, but God is gracious and he will bring people in your life. To be honest, my best friends, well, my old best friends weren't really of the faith. So we were friends for years, and some of them were and then left the faith and others just weren't. And we were friends for years, but naturally it just kind of like fell apart. And God has been faithful to bring new people. So all the people in the chat that you're seeing right now, I don't know any of them in person except for Nay, a day with Nay. Everybody else, I don't know in person, but God has been so faithful to bring them. And you can't tell me we're not sisters in Christ, like we really hold each other down. So definitely keep praying for friends and, communities like this on various Christian YouTuber channels and the chats on Instagram or Facebook. You can find a lot of believers and that can become your friends, and you guys can honestly have a friendship, even though you might not be near each other. You can talk, you can video chat, you can do whatever. So God is really gracious with that. Do you think we are still single because he thinks we are not ready or won't be a good wife for our husband? That's honestly a really good question. I would say for me, I just honestly think it just boils down to his plan for your life, So whether you're ready, it might be a combination of he knows that you're not ready yet because of what you might have to work through on and in yourself that you might not even be aware of yet. Another part of it might be that it's just not time. Like, there's stuff that he needs you to do. There's things that he needs you to focus on, or he knows that maybe, a husband coming in your life right now might distract you from your assignment, your purpose, the things that he would want you to do right now. It would distract you because, let's be honest, like when we're in a space, a lot of us at least, when we're in a space where we're really wanting something and that thing comes in your life, you kind of lose focus on what God originally intended for you to do, or you kind of like might become a little lackadaisical about God. Not that you're going to necessarily turn from him 110%, but you're just like, maybe you're not praying as much. Maybe you're not as like, you're not as fervent as you used to be. You're kind of talking to him, but you're just kind of like, yeah, God, what's up? Like, you're not as in tune. So, and he knows everything. It's really hard to tell, but we just have to really trust that like he knows everything and his timing is perfect. And even though we might really be at the brink of like, God, I'm about to give up, it's like we have to trust that he does hear our prayers. He does know what's best for us, and his timing is perfect. It might not be when we wanted, but it's always on time. So that's the best way I could really put it. Hopefully that helps. So yes, I would say pray for friendship. I did, and I've seen God's faithfulness in that. Yeah, and I remember your video. I think it was one of your testimony videos, or maybe you did a separate video on it where you were talking about that. And God really has showed up and showed out, even just through the internet, So praying for friends really helps. Like now, I have the friends that I used to spend years praying for. I have them now, and it took years. When I say years, I mean like over 10 years of praying to have the type of friends I have now. I had glimpses of it throughout the 10 years, but not to this level of community and friendship and like accountability and encouragement and all of that. So it really is something good to do, to pray for those friendships. You're welcome. I'm glad it helped you. So, letting go of that fairy tale will help. I never thought, excuse me, I would be a 32-year-old single mom, still living with my mom and my sister, and still figuring it out, still finding myself, so to speak, especially in my business and stuff like that. And I'm happy. I really am happy, and I am joyful. And you can have both. You can have happiness and you can have joy. You don't have to have one or the other. Sometimes it will end up being that way in a season, but other times you can have both happiness and joy. And I can say I have both right now, even though I might feel tired, even though I might feel like throwing in the towel every now and then. When I look up, it's like God has really been faithful, and he really is good. He really is good. And even though I don't know what the future holds, I know he holds my future in his hands, and I can never go wrong leaning on him. Even if I'm kicking and screaming and I'm whining, I'm complaining and all that, he still, which trust I do. Okay, I am no saint. If it's one thing I'm gonna do, it's gonna be complain to God and be like, really? Like, I was just saying that on my live yesterday on my business page. I was like, I'm tired of fighting fires. I have a victory, and then it's like, boom, another fire. I literally cannot get just a week to celebrate a victory. It's always fighting a fire. I feel like Smokey the Bear. Like, I'm always fighting a fire. I'm tired. I am tired. You hear me? All my life I had to fight. I'm tired. Not even tired. Okay. I don't know where y'all live, Anik and Sander, but in the US, especially in the South, we say I'm tired. You just had enough. You're like, stick a fork in me. Friends, we are friends, okay? like we were on the phone yesterday, Yasmin. Like that same energy that I had when I was like, oh, you gonna do that YouTube? That's how I am with the friends. Like, oh, we friends. Y'all gonna be my friend regardless. At this point, you can't get rid of me. Like, sorry, not sorry. I agree with that answer. That was the best way I could put it, because God is like, he's so infinite, he's so mighty, his ways are not our ways, and it's like he is outside of time, he is outside of all that. So while we're sitting waiting and all that, and we're like, it's been forever and a day, God is like, it's only been a vapor. Like, to him, it's like but a second. To us, it's like it's been 20 years. But our lifespan is so minute, so time is so important to us. It's so valuable to us, because it's like I'm losing time. But it's like we can never lose time when we're on God's plans, because everything is according to his timing. Everything is according to his plan. And really, when I think about it too, another bit on the marriage part, when I think about it, it's like, okay, even though I thought I'd be married by now, even if I got married later than way later than I hoped for, like let's say I got married at 40 or 50, I still, Lord willing, even if I live just based to the normal human expectancy, which I think is 70 years old or 72, something like that, I still would get a good 20, 30 years with that spouse if we both live to 70. So, it's not as long as I would have hoped for, but it's still 20, 30 years that I didn't have to get, So that's how I kind of try to think about things like that. And then like I had mentioned earlier, I try to really look at the bright side. Like, okay, I'm single right now, even though I'm a single mom, so I don't have the same amount of freedom. I still have more freedom in the sense of I don't really have to run anything by anybody. Like, if I'm making a life decision, I'll talk it over with my mom because we're best friends, but it's not like I have to, it's not like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not like I'm joined to her in a covenant where it's like with a husband, it's like I have to really consider, because it's going to affect his life. It would affect my mom, but she's not my husband. Like, she might give her opinion. She might say, well, I wouldn't do it this way or that way. But at the end of the day, it's your life. It's your decision to make. So I'm enjoying that level of freedom right now. I'm kind of ready to not have that freedom, but at the same time, I am really like an own way pony when I get ready. So I'm like, let me enjoy it. Why do I hear worship? Yes, come on, worship. Come on. I think that everything God plans for you to be in is already inside of you. So if you were called to be a wife, you have what it takes to be a wife. Yes, it's just this timing, to your point, Delle. Exactly. I definitely believe that. It's like the motherhood thing. I knew I always wanted to have kids. There was never a time in my life where I didn't want to have kids. But when I got pregnant with my son, because it was so unexpected and tumultuous, I was a little scared. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to be a mother. But when I tell you, I literally snapped into that position, like, from the time I was pregnant, even before I gave birth, it's like going to the appointments, going to do the shopping and preparing all that. I literally just snapped into mama mode. And even though I might not feel like a mom a lot of the time, I really sit and think, it's like, I really am a mom. I really am, Yes, I'm grateful for my friends. Good. God is a provider. That includes friends. Exactly. Oh, you live in Europe. That's so cool. I have a lot of supporters in Europe. I love y'all. So yeah, that's when we say we're tied, like I tied something, but we're saying I'm tied, it just means we're really tired. But we're just, a lot of us on my channel live in the South or the Southwest. So, it could get a little country. You could hear the drawl sometimes, but that's where I was at with that part. So, but needless to say, those are my points. So I'm gonna just say them again, and then I'll be out of you guys' hair. I am gonna pray though at the end of this live. But the first point is to accept that this is your reality. It's okay. Don't bury your head in the sand. Try to look at the bright side is point number 2, because there's always something bright to look at, even if it's a minute detail. Acknowledge allow yourself to grieve is point number 3, because we don't want to just be positive in a toxic way. You want to have true joy. Embrace where you are now is point number 4. So you might not be where you want to be, but you're not where you used to be, and you're becoming. You're on the journey. So every day, every step you take, every day you just lean on God. You're getting closer and closer to ultimately what He has for you. Even if that never looks like what you had in mind, you're getting closer and closer to what He has for you, which is what we're all trying to get to at the end of the day. And point number 5 is to let go of the fairy tale and expectations that either you put on yourself or society, your family, or whatever put on you, because all that's going to do is stress you out and have you feel like you're consistently missing the mark, because there's always more to be had. There's always more to aim for. So just let go of the fairy tale and embrace, what it is that you are living through right now, or whatever might actually end up being, if that makes sense. You are more than welcome, Annie. Such a pleasure to meet you. Absolutely. Definitely make sure that you subscribe to Yasmin and White Stuff and God Got Your Girl. She was in here earlier. If you scroll up in the chat, you'll see her, because they make really great videos. And anybody else you might see in the comments, if you come back and watch this, 9 times out of 10, they're also YouTubers and they're my friends. So make sure you show them support as well, because I know they would appreciate it, and you would definitely be blessed by what they share. And whether it's in a talking video format like this, a vlog, you will be encouraged. Accept your reality. Oh yeah, these are the points. So Yasmin just put that. Thanks, Yasmin. So yeah, those are the points. And that's all that I really have. So I hope that this helped you. I'm not judging you for the typos, but I hope it really helped you, because like I said, a lot of us are just in this state where it's like, this isn't what I expected at all. And this is for the birds. I'm about ready to throw in the towel, but I just want us to be encouraged and just take the day as it comes and not stress ourselves too much about everything else. So keep repeating these points to yourself, replay this video, share it out with people that you might have also had conversations with that are just kind of like blah, just lethargic about life right now. And hopefully it encourages them. But that's all that I have. I do want to pray. So if there's any prayer requests, let me know, and then I'll pray. And thanks, Yasmin. Yes, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep going, even if I got to drag myself. Like today I'm dragging. It doesn't help that it's so cloudy and rainy here. Like I literally just want to lay in a ball, but I got so much to do. And I got to clean this house because it's getting on my nerves now. So you're welcome, Monique. And praying for provision. Okay, definitely will. And feel free to put any prayer requests y'all have. But also, while y'all are putting your prayer requests, I'll say mine. So just prayer for letting go. I just want to let go of the steering wheel. I just want God to have His way. Like, I want to float in God's hands like a feather floating in the wind. I don't even want to really have too many solid plans right now. I just want to go with the flow of wherever God takes me. Prayer for dating, like I said, is down to 1, and far from the fairy tale that far from the fairy tale that I thought I would ever have, but not bad, not like dangerous or detrimental, but just like, okay, God, is this really just gonna be it? Like, because at this point, it's looking like this is just gonna be it. So just prayer for discernment, and that I don't fairy tale my way out of a blessing, because I'm guilty of that. I am so guilty of that, of like canceling blessings, sending them back, because of my own fleshly desires, thinking that I know better than God, and then looking back in hindsight and regretting it. That's happened a couple of times in my life. So I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. I also don't want to hurt anybody in this process. So just that I can continue to be honest, live in my truth, and just, have integrity while I'm dating. Like, that's important, because at the end of the day, they have feelings too. I'm not the only one invested in this. So also just prayer for motherhood. Like I said, as I enter this new season, like it's getting real. Christian got to go start, schooling of sorts, and he needs like a new speech therapist and stuff. So I'm just really like overwhelmed with everything that has to be done. I miss my mommy. I'm like, come back. I am drowning. Like, So prayer for that I could get a lifeboat out here because this is going through it. Okay. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. Provisions, deliverance, direction. Absolutely. Definitely gonna pray for that. Let go. Yes. Okay. We gotta let it go. Prayer for direction. Definitely. Absolutely. We'll uplift you in prayer for that. Prayer for focus and clarity, belief in the gifts God placed inside of me. That's a really good prayer request. Definitely gonna uplift that because they're there for a reason. I know there's many gifts God placed inside of you, so I will definitely uplift that. If there's no more prayer requests, I'll go ahead and pray. But yeah, those are mine. So just discernment, integrity, honesty in dating, this new phase of motherhood that I can really just hold on to the lifeboat because sis is drowning right now. And just that I can let go of my expectations, let go of the fairy tale, just let God have his way and not care. Because I don't care. I don't care. I just want God to lead. And I want my year to end how God wants it to end. I'm going to just show up every day and give what I got. And the rest is up to God. That's just where I'm at. So please keep me uplifted in prayer for that. That is a really good one. That is a really good prayer request. So I'm going to go ahead and pray. I don't think there's any more prayer requests. And then I'll just tell you guys the announcements and we'll be done. I'll be out of your hair. So we can go ahead and pray. Dear God, thank you for just gathering us here today. I thank you for every single one of my brothers and sisters on this live stream, whether they're here now or they're catching the replay, Lord. I just thank you for bringing us together because where 2 or 3 are gathered, we know like you're there, Lord. And whether that's in person, whether that is virtually, you're everywhere. So it doesn't matter, Lord. I just thank you for answering prayers, for friendship, for community. I pray that you continue to bring people into our lives, whether we have friends already or we're seeking friends that are on one accord, that are also of the faith, just so that we can share our faith with people that are already on the same page as us, Lord, but also let us be examples and inspirations to those that we are in contact with who are not of the faith yet, so that they can be encouraged, that the Holy Spirit can work through us, whether we open our mouths or not, whether we share the gospel verbally and directly or just live it out, that we can really just inspire and be a light out there and really just change the world around us, change our communities. But it all starts with us and it starts in our homes, Lord. So help us to just really live differently, live set apart. Lord, I uplift every prayer request in this live stream, Lord, for prayer for provision, direction, clarity, Lord. I pray that you would order our steps exactly where you want us to go, Lord. Even when we veer off, even when we don't have another step, another bit of energy left in us, that you would just carry us, Lord, and that you would take us where we need to go. Lord, I pray for provision as we set out to adjust to life changes, as we set out to adjust to maybe new things that have come up that we didn't anticipate, as we look to take care of things that might have blindsided us and we're trying to figure out how we're going to take care of it, that you can just remind us that and encourage us and let us be encouraged that you are the God that provides. Like, you are always providing for us. You know exactly what we need. You own everything in this world, down to the cattle on the hill, down to the pennies in our bank accounts. You know the bills that need to be met. You know the homes that need to be acquired. You know the school fees or anything else that's on our plates that we're stressing about or trying to figure out how we're going to make ends meet. You know every single detail, Lord. And I pray that you just move in supernatural ways where the money can just be there, where it could just be taken care of, Lord, where it can just work itself out and we don't even know how it all worked out, but we know that you made a way, Lord. So I pray for that. I pray for clarity. What do we need to do in this season? What exactly are we set out to do? Like, what do we need to do day to day? We don't want to miss the opportunity to say something to someone that needs to hear what we need to say. We don't want to miss the opportunity to be in the place that we need to be in for you to move, Lord. We just really want you to take the wheel. Like, we're tired. We're tired of trying to figure it out on our own. We're tired of trying to take the wheel from you, because ultimately you are Alpha and Omega. Like, who are we to think that we know more than you, that we can steer you? Lord, let us just have increased faith in you to know that, like, you will never steer us wrong. You literally knew us from our mother's wombs. You knitted us in our mother's wombs. You know our beginning, you know our end, you know everything in between. So we just really need to lean into you and not have the urge, or at least not, give into the urge to take the wheel from you, Lord. So I pray for that. I pray for increased faith. Like I said, that the things that we've been praying on and waiting on for a very long time, maybe we're just like, look, it's not for me. Like, maybe it's just not in your will for me, that you can restore our hope in those areas, like true, genuine hope, that we can have our hope, because like you said in your word, like hope deferred makes the heart grow sick, Lord. So a lot of us are just in that point where it's like we've been hoping, we've been praying, we've been tearing in the spirit, we've been waiting, we've been looking to the hills, and it's like nothing seems to be coming to pass, and we are just tired. We are losing our hope. We are just like just done. Just stick a fork in us. We're done. So we just pray that you can get us back revived, Lord. Put that fire in us again, like light us up again, Lord. In this time of year is very tough for a lot of people too, just because of maybe memories of what used to be or whatever the case may be. We're about to enter that season, Lord. So I just pray that you just help us prepare from now, to guard our hearts from now, to uplift our hearts from now, so we can enter this last quarter of the year and finish off Q3 with renewed strength, Lord, that you can really just lift us up and renew us, excuse me, in your spirit. Lord, I uplift anybody searching for a new job that is just like tired of the hunt and it seems like they can't find what they need. Lord, I pray that you can be with them in that. Anybody adjusting to a new job if they just started, maybe they quit their job and they're full-time in their business now. Lord, I just pray that you cover their finances, that you cover their needs, and every dollar is allocated in the place where it needs to be, and that it will multiply in a supernatural way. I pray for those who might have health issues right now that they're worried about, or even if they're not sure about it, but something just doesn't feel right. Lord, I pray that you would just cover them, that you would heal them from the top of their head to the bottom of their feet. Lord, I pray for those who are maybe having a rough patch in their marriages where it's just a lot going on. Lord, I pray that you would strengthen them, that you would renew them, that you would bring back that love and that joy, and let the obstacles not take over, or the situations at hand not take over, Lord. Lord, I pray for our children this school year, as whether they're going in the building or continuing to distance learn or whatever, just switching it up altogether. I pray that you cover them, Lord, that if we have any wayward children or any children that are looking like they're going to go wayward, that you would bring them back into the fold, Lord, or that you would save them, Lord, that they would just have their hearts turn to you and dedicate their lives to you and really just want to live for you, Lord, that they would have a Holy Ghost encounter experience with you that would just rattle them up, like they just cannot do anything but follow you, because we know that it is worth it, Lord. Following you is worth it. Like there's nothing better than following you in this world, Lord. So I pray for our children. I pray that you cover them. I pray that they can be the salt and the light in their classrooms and amongst their peers, Lord. Lord, I uplift any prayer requests that I might have missed in the comments, whether spoken, unspoken, whatever is on our hearts, on our minds. You ultimately know everything, Lord. So I pray that you would give us that unspeakable joy, that peace that we can't explain, Lord, that you would just intercede, that you would bring hope where there's hopelessness, that you would solve the problems at hand that we see, and that you would give us the strength to channel through these storms as they come, Lord, and that we can just keep putting one foot in front of the other, one foot in front of the other, and just trusting you, trusting that you're leading us, trusting that you're carrying us, trusting that you go before us and behind us, that you never forsake us, Lord, no matter what the enemy might try to convince us of, no matter what people might do, what they might say, how they might disappoint. You are always with us. You are you love us greater than anybody could love us. You provide for us greater than anybody could provide for us. And we just want our lives to be a vessel for you, to get the glory, the honor, and the praise, Lord. So I lift these prayers right now, Lord. I pray that you continue to cover these people as they go about their daily life and they continue on with their evening and their week. I pray that you bless them abundantly, Lord. And I thank you. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. All right, y'all. So, Lord. Oh, and also for Shay, we pray for understanding at work for her, Lord. So I am glad that you guys were able to join me. Thank you for sticking it out with me, even with Christian interruptions. I appreciate y'all. The only announcement that I have, like I said, is that Thursday I will be live. So I had said earlier that I'm just going to finish this month off with live streams, because I'm not even going to lie to y'all and say I'm taping a video and editing it. I'm not. So I'm just going to keep going live. Thursday, I might go live earlier, because to be honest, like this weekend, I really got to grind to get some things done. So let's aim for 2:00 on Thursday. I would say between 12 and 2. Let me actually get through tomorrow, kind of see how things go tonight. But I would say prepare for either 12 noon Eastern, 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be one of those times on Thursday, but I'll be live. Don't know what I'm going to talk about yet, but we just going to go with the flow. We're just going to go with the flow. Go with the flow. You're welcome, Yasmin. Amen. Love you, Shay. Love you, Francis. Thank you. I'm glad that you enjoyed the prayer, and I really hope it resonates with you. And I will keep you guys uplifted in these prayer requests. I really try to do that throughout the month. Yes, and continue to pray for each other too. Like, prayer is so helpful. I know the prayers of many have helped me through many a day. Okay. We love y'all. We love you. I love all of y'all so, so much. You guys are such a blessing. I have some classes Thursday, but I'll catch the replay if I miss it. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I just try to go earlier because Thursday through Sunday is really when I try to grind with Uber Eats, because the rest of the week is kind of like, thank you, Delle. Love you too. No problem, sis. Love you. And I hope your classes go well. Like Yasmin said, I'll be in the live tonight. Yes, I'm going to try to pop in. I'm going to be cleaning the house. So even if I'm in, I'm like, I might not be typing, but I'm going to put it on the TV while I'm cleaning. But so yeah, Thursday live will be between 12 noon Eastern and 2 p.m. Eastern. But if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me at Daily_Delle. It's the same name you see here, but it's just an underscore in between. So Daily_Delle, because I do put updates in my stories and I'll let you guys know, only because I don't have the community tab yet. And if any, like I said at the beginning, if any video of mine encourages you, please share it out to your friends so that we can hit 1K. I'm trying to hit 1K before my birthday, which is November. I totally think I can do it. So I just want to do that so that way when I do hit 1K, I can have the community tab. I can go live from my phone, which means I can do way more content because I'm always on the go. And it'll just be better. Like, I'll be able to really pour into my channel in a way that I can't right now because I'm limited, and give you guys that content and stuff. I'm so excited that I can make it. I'm getting my life back. I know. I'm excited that you can make it too, because you always help so much in the lives. So I'm so glad for that. So happy for you, Yasmin. You guys are amazing. Yes, 1K, so close. I can taste it. So let me go make sure my grandma subscribed. That's hilarious. Yes, tell your grandma, your auntie, your uncle, your cousin, and them. So everybody spread the word. Is Delle your real name? Yeah, so my real name is Rondell. That's my first name. But I came up with Daily Delle in 2019 when I started my brand, because I was like trying to figure out a name because I didn't want to just go by Rondell Martin. And I came up with a couple of names through a name generator. And I actually was going to be Rondell Daily. But then when I put it in the stories for people to vote in my Instagram stories, people were like, you should flip it and say Daily Delle. So that's why I got Daily Delle. My subscribers and followers were actually the ones that came up with that, because it was going to be Rondell Daily. But I love Daily Delle. The phone is going to be good for you, Delle. I know I'm always on the go. And a lot of times, like even I think it was last week, I was rushing to get back home to do the live. I was like, dang, if I could have done it for my phone, I could have sat in the car right here and did it. Because, I'm good for sitting in the car and doing a live stream. So as soon as I hit 1K, there's going to be a ton of content coming your way. And I have two very exciting announcements as well, which I'm not going to reveal, but I'm so anxious to see. I'm so excited. But either way, thank y'all. I'm going to let you go ahead with your day and have a safe, fun Tuesday. It might be really late at night in Europe right now, depending on where you're at. I don't know how many hours ahead of us you are, but right now it's afternoon. It's 3:30 p.m. on the East Coast in the U.S. So I hope that you enjoy the rest of your Tuesday or Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, wherever you're at. And I will catch you on Thursday. So just follow me on Instagram for the updates, because I'll put in my stories at least a couple hours before I go live. And if not, just pay attention to my page, my channel, between 12 noon Eastern and 2 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, and you'll see the notification. So see y'all. Love you. Have a good one. Bye.